No, I'm fine, thanks so much, sir. Just being on massage and lots of tablets around, make sure, see if there's anything else or missing or anything like that.
At the back door there's 2 sheds.
Yeah.
Pretty much every house round here that was...
Yeah, alright.
And they didn't notice
Oh,
us.
yeah. So I'll be knocking on the doors as well. Yeah. Don't be offended if you see me doing that.
No, not at all, not at all.
28-year-old Hollie Kerrell is an outgoing, bubbly, devoted mother of 3 who resides in Powys, Mid Wales, in a town called Nuckless. She has a passion for horses, making time for the stables as often as she can. Very creative and artistic, she sells cosmetics online to make a little extra money, as well as filming makeup tutorials, which she posts here on YouTube.
Good evening, guys. How's it going? Feeling very festive in my jumper, which look even sings. I'll show you my skirt. I've only got the one because the kids destroyed them, painted themselves in them. I don't have the rose water. I really want it because it's brilliant for everything, really. Like cleanses, tones, removes makeup. You can add it to your makeup brushes to make your eyeshadow more intense. You can use it to fix your makeup.
Hollie and her 35-year-old husband Chris have a very tumultuous relationship. He's very controlling, possessive and jealous. Hollie, having tried to end the relationship many times, can't get rid of Chris. He seems to always convince her to go back, that things will be different this time. On Sunday the 22nd of April 2018, no one hears from Hollie all day. Not a thing online either. This is highly unusual, with the family getting increasingly worried, so much so, the next morning, Hollie's sister reports her missing, telling police that her last message from Hollie was at 9:55 AM Sunday morning that read, "I'll message in a bit." After hearing of Hollie's case and the highly unlikelihood of leaving her kids behind, Detective Superintendent Anthony Griffiths starts to investigate the disappearance of Hollie Kerrell. Detective Inspector Gareth Grant is sent to oversee house-to-house inquiries, as well as speak to Hollie's husband Chris.
Kristen, what's going on over here?
Hold on, if you please.
See you right there.
No, I'm fine, thanks so much, sir. Just being on massage and lots of tablets around, make sure, see if there's anything else or missing or anything like that.
At the back door there's 2 sheds.
Yeah.
Pretty much every house round here that was...
Yeah, alright.
And they didn't notice
Oh,
us.
yeah. So I'll be knocking on the doors as well. Don't be offended if you see me doing that.
No, not at all, not at all.
Chris doesn't seem to be worried at all. Chris will say that he and Hollie had an argument on Saturday night and that Hollie stormed out with a bag of clothes and some other personal effects, saying to him that he can have the house and take care of all the kids. We think not, Christopher. However, this story is actually corroborated by a witness who says they passed by a young woman in their car walking on the main road near Hollie's home on the outskirts of Nuckless, carrying bags, which would suggest Chris may be telling the truth. Police unearth information that neighbours saw Hollie and Chris having a blazing row out in the street.
Hi. Hi, nothing like that. Don't know if you were the Hollie next door's gone missing. Have you seen or heard from them recently?
Did a lot of arguing?
Yeah.
They also find that Chris had snapped Hollie's car key in half so she couldn't drive anywhere, and that he and Hollie are actually not together at present. Chris has been living at his parents' farmhouse. Unable to find any mobile phone data from Hollie's phone after the last message sent to her sister, they do find that her bank card has been used twice at 2 different nearby food stores. They obtain the CCTV from each store. However, it's not Hollie, it's Chris. Worryingly, detectives see him purchasing bleach, bin bags, and later, a mop and bucket. A call comes in from a witness who works in a nearby school. They say that the school has clothes banks on the grounds and that on Monday afternoon they saw Chris stuffing full black bins in the clothes bank. 2 days after Hollie's disappearance, they asked Chris to come in for further questioning, but in actual fact, this happens.
Mr. Carrell.
Oh yeah, Mr. Carrell, DC 1077 Market. I'm arresting you for the murder of Hollie Kerrell. You don't have to say anything. It may sound your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you may reply in court.
Armed with a warrant, detectives search Hollie's home. Finding a hammer in the kitchen bin, although there is no blood found in the house, throwing up more questions than answers. They've also uncovered that Chris has previous convictions for fraud, theft, sexual offences on other women, and a domestic abuse offence on an ex-partner.
Everything will be explained to you. Do you understand the arrest?
I understand the arrest, but yeah, but that's about it. I don't understand why or what or... Okay.
The bricks of justice are starting to build a very large wall around Chris Carrell. Now looking at Chris's phone activity, they can see it has connected to the Wi-Fi in Hollie's house, on his parents' farmhouse, and to masts in and around the fields at the farm. The farm has a pretty big expanse of land. Police are in need of a breakthrough.
Police are continuing to investigate the disappearance of a woman from Powys. Hollie Kerrell was last seen at her home in Knighton at the weekend. A 35-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of murder.
Which they get in the form of a call from a witness who, after seeing the BBC News, recalls seeing a man in the field at the foot of her house while she was out walking her dog. This man was walking in big strides, looking purposeful. She asked him, "What you up to?" He glanced over at a fence, saying something about a dog being dead or burying a dog. Police go straight to the area in question. They find tractor marks in the dirt and begin to painstakingly dig when they soon uncover a package. On carefully opening the large parcel, they see what looks like a human knee. The next day, the pathologist reports that the body was tied with ratchet straps in the fetal position, wrapped in bedding including a Thomas the Tank Engine bed cover. There's what appears to be a hammer blow to the back of the head, and neck injuries consistent with strangulation. Going back to Chris to show him the photographs of the burial site, hoping to shock him into confessing, they are met with the immortal words, "No comment."
The last photo I'm going to show you is photo 18, a photograph of the scene from a distance away, showing you how her body was found after that was done. You can clearly see the Thomas the Tank Engine design. No comment. Does your little boy like Thomas the Tank Engine? No comment. Did the kids witness what you did to Hollie? No comment. Were they in the house? No comment.
On Friday the 27th of April 2018, after 3 days in custody and 6 days after Hollie's disappearance, Chris Carrell confesses to the killing, but of the lesser charge of manslaughter, saying he lost control in the heat of the moment.
I'm holding my hands up now. I'm admitting that I murdered Hollie Kerrell. Thank you very much for your honesty, Chris. Let's start from the beginning then, shall we? You stood in front of me making tea, and I was stood by the side. The hammer was there.
He had seen a hammer on the kitchen side, and whilst she was making the tea, he had struck her over the head. She had gone to the ground, and then that he had got on top of her and strangled her.
I can't tell you if I hit her with the hammer again. I can't remember. A lot of it is blank. Where were the kids at this time? Outside playing. Okay, so can we not bring the kids into this? I'll try my best, because it's nothing to do with them. They were there, they didn't see it, they didn't witness anything. Yeah, I just need to know where they were. They were out, they're not that sick, they weren't in there looking at I was doing it. Yeah.
So after he'd wrapped Hollie up in the bedding, he stopped to have a cup of tea. He actually drank the cup of tea that Hollie'd been drinking before he'd killed her.
Put your hands around her throat, she's facing up.
On the 22nd of October 2019, on the first day of trial, Chris Carrell changes his plea to murder. He is sentenced to the minimum charge of 15 years. Chris looks pretty smug about this, until that is, the judge adds a further 5 aggravating factors that will hold a further 2 years each. The first being any suffering to Hollie after death. Second, murdering Hollie in her own home. Third, murdering Hollie while her children were in her care.
They're enjoying the snow, can you see? It is definitely very snowy.
Fourth, concealment and burial of Hollie's body. And fifth, lying to family and friends that Hollie was still alive, bringing the total sentence for Hollie's murder to 25 years. He appeals his sentence. The appeal is denied. Chris sits in the courtroom emotionless while Hollie's mother reads her impact statement. It reads, "Because of you, I could not look at my beautiful daughter's face one last time. All I could do to say goodbye was hold and kiss her hand in the morgue of a hospital, while she lay otherwise completely covered under a blanket. You did that. Because of you, I had to tell 3 frightened and confused children that their mummy was dead. I had to look into the eyes of my granddaughter and tell her that Daddy was in prison because he had hurt Mummy so badly that she had died. She will no longer look at me and has not hugged me properly since that day. I have to live with that. But there is one thing you did not do. You did not ruin my life. I do not give you that power."